Paradise Motorsports. This is Paradise Motorsports Magazine. This is the forum where we showcase our people in paradise. We will focus on the human component to motor racing, while still bringing the excitement, spills, and of course the thrills to the people of the Caribbean. The racing is but only one vibrant part in a multi-layered machine known as motorsport. We will highlight not only the layers of motorsport, but also explore the islands and the cultures. Be a part of Paradise Motorsports Magazine. Be a part of history as it happens. Live life. Life nice. No bad days in paradise. Paradise Motorsports Magazine. The real Motorsports Magazine.
Drag, circuit, rally, karting, solo deck, the tech, the shows, the girls, the car you drive. Zorz, the speed lifestyle magazine in the islands. Available at mall bookstores and NP Quick Shops nationwide. Zorz.
Paradise Motorsports. Don Purcell.
Yes, sir.
You've been responsible for one of the more exciting, episodes at drag racing in the region so far.
In the region? Wow.
I have to say in the region. I have to say, nothing as spectacular as what we saw. I want to get a little bit about your history. How did you start in racing?
Going to school in Canada, I like rotary engines all the time. Okay. Since I know myself, my cousin had a car and I was dabbling bits and pieces and, we chuck in here, chuck in there. So from still going to school, which is about almost 10 years ago, I like those engines and I had a first generation in Canada when I was going to school. So when I came back, I buy one from Brave Boy. It didn't last long, but eventually I did everything to modify and start from there. Then we used to do it on the streets. Like I said, it get dangerous, so then we went to the tracks. And of course, speed is addictive. Once you start going fast, a man beat you, you go back to the drawing board, you do something else, you start getting into Turbo Magazine, start getting into, different things. You're watching TV, you're watching more or less any kind of racing. Yeah. And you decide, well, hey, I have to go faster because that man will beat me next time. So it's like a drug. As you say when a bug bites you, he bites you.
Tell us what happened on that particular day. Now, you already mentioned that was supposed to be the final run, the one more run concept. Well, normally gets the better of us. What happened on that day? Do you remember what happened?
We kind of had a little trick in the hat, so to speak, because the week before, or 2 weeks before the event, I had a normal engine in the car with a turbo. I used to run in the 1200.
Right,
that setup.
That turbo, and that turbo was big.
Right, and that was big.
That was big.
And then I had a bigger turbo, kind of under the blanket, and I had another engine, kind of under the blanket. And then Bat came up and he said, "What? Hey, we racing that engine and we switching." I said, "Sure, we got time." He said, "Yeah, we got time." We started to work.
No, you said Bat the tuner from Trinidad.
Yeah, that's right.
Tree tuner from Trinidad. Okay,
yeah,
so he came up.
He came up. He actually built that. He had built an engine for me a long time ago, and I had it sitting in my washroom. They covered down. Ivan come in. I do studying the cover nothing, but I wrapping up my engine and thinking, make sure he get wet. You understand? So all that said, we put in that, and so it was a different thing totally from how we had drove the car the 2 weeks before, because rain came that week, you remember?
Right, yes.
So obviously it's more poor and everything else. But on that day, there was so much science. When I made the first pass, well, of course, with a bigger turbo, from the oil funnel, there's an oil line there, supposed to put a catch can. We didn't have that. We didn't expect, that oil to come up, oil splash up on the windscreen. And the car did went down that fast. I even had to open the door to see where I was going.
Yeah, right? I seen the door open.
Then came back. We see a little smoke, oil line leaking from the turbo. Then we realized that the wheel touching the exhaust because, of course, not taking into consideration the car was on jack in the garage most of the time when we was working on it. So putting it down in the yard here and just
the suspension.
Exactly, it come down more after
Okay,
and it start touching the exhaust and thing and actually heating up the tire. And when I see that, I say, watch, fellas, we ain't racing that car. And then I say, don't worry, we go doctor that. So we went back in the pit and we kind of moved the flange on the turbo and it's kind of spin the exhaust a little up, maybe about 3/4 to an inch space. So it wasn't thinking, but you can see what's going on with that car when you're moving at them kind of speeds.
Yeah.
And the suspension for that kind of power, I mean, I have to admit that the suspension wasn't really geared for that power, but you know, give or take, it might have run straight. Yeah, I didn't think that, considering the track was properly prepared and it was sticking, the car would have never spin it like that. It was too much power for me, I think, with the sand.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you exactly what happened. The car pulled up. I didn't even leave the line hard if you remember seeing the race. I left the line maybe under 4,000 RPM, increased second gear. Of course, and another thing on my part, well, I would say a little bit of negligence is that you see, it comes down to the same thing of having people around who could advise you. I was running too much boost. Of course. The boost on that thing was set from since the last time when I did my 10-second pass. So it was running about 20 pounds of boost.
With the bigger turbo.
Exactly. And 20 pounds of boost in that, with that turbo is like double. But considering all that, I say we were just, you know. But of course, you know how boosters come in.
Yeah, that hit.
So from first gear, second gear, everything was fine. And I accelerated a little bit more. I said, let me go down the road a little faster. And from the time I hit the third gear, I mean, first time, the car could have control. That car just went berserk. The wheels just spin and it just took a direction in which way it was spinning. It spin out. Yeah. And just started tumbling. I mean, of course.
So the boost came in too aggressively, shocked the tires free. You lost traction and, well, the rest is
basically jackknife.
Yeah, just spin right wrong. Okay.
So it's like, yeah, I mean, if you remember riding a bicycle when you're young and you squeeze the back brakes.
Now someone in the tapes we've played back, we heard the X feathered a bit. Now that was you trying to get the back.
Yeah, I was trying to control it, of course.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, and that's after it was already in a spin.
Yeah, then started to go. Okay.
Exactly. You know, I was really basically trying to get away from the crowd.
So, right, now, I mean, at this point, the car hooked around and it was rolling. Do you remember any of the roll?
Of course, I remember everything. I was totally conscious.
Everything.
I remember the rolling. I couldn't tell you the exact direction I was rolling or how high the car was going. I remember seeing people, then I ain't seen people, seeing the ground, seeing the grass, seeing the sky, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Drags, circuit, rally, karting, solo deck, the tech, the shows, the girls, the car you drive. Zos, the speed lifestyle magazine in the islands. Available at mall bookstores and NP Quick Shops nationwide. Zos.
Paradise Motorsports.
But what really scared me was the fire, because I didn't even have on my suit. As you know, I was wearing short pants. I didn't have on my shoes. I didn't have on my gloves. I only had on my helmet. And I mean, I know the fuel lines right there. Of course, anybody in an accident that I see fire, the next thing coming to your brain is explosion. You understand?
Yeah.
But I guess hopefully for me the battery flew out. But I saw that after, so I guess it was no current. So the fire was just burning out the excess fuel that was running to the lines. But and one of the things, too, you see, you take into consideration the injectors were really close to the turbocharger, because I was still using a stock front suspension in the car, so you still had that, the coil and all everything right there, right in the face of the turbo, so everything was really cramped. So any little heat or any little shift, the turbo just bounced. Basically, if you look at it, I mean, after you just kind of just give the injector a little touch, the injector rail a little touch, and gas just came out, and with the heat on the turbo, it just caused a blaze. But I mean, after the roll, and I realized, well, okay, my hand felt kind of, I couldn't move it, so I said it was either broken, you know, dislocated. But I was okay. I was able to walk and things after that.
But do you remember at what point you're actually injured?
I didn't even know. I only knew my hand was outside of the car when I saw the tapes.
Okay, but during that time you didn't feel it outside the car?
I tried to try and keep myself, you know, confined inside here, but
the harness kept your torso inside.
Exactly. Funny enough, I wasn't running with seatbelt all the times I was trying the car, and that one time Alan say, watch, let me buck you up.
I ran up and said, hey,
let me buck you up. And yeah, my hand was flying. People say my hand was all outside. I didn't feel that.
Just to make sure you have this one clear. All the other time they test the car, you didn't put in the full harness. You didn't.
No, because I wasn't going fast, really. I was just trying to see how smooth the car was running. I wasn't pressing the X as, you know. I mean, an experienced driver could test the car basically more or less. Things could happen. But at that time, you know, as I say, you know, the boost coming aggressive, it was a little bit negligent on my part not to. You know, I could have done a lot of things to make that car not to roll that day.
I have to ask. You think you will try that again with all these belts?
No.
Even if it's a slow pass, you're gonna buckle up and do it.
Yeah. Of course.
You realize that? I mean,
trust me. I would. No, I didn't. I mean, safety first. Trust me. Anybody listen? Safety first. Trust me. Because if I didn't have on my seatbelt.
Yeah, I don't think we would have been having this.
Exactly.
I can't see us having this.
Well, I mean, I can't say that to her because there's a man upstairs that in control of everything. And so, I mean, really, but is safety is good.
So when the car finally did come to a stop, there's some fire off the front. What ran through your mind? Because I see we had two people who came.
Well, the first thing when the car came to the stop, I was trying to get out because I see, I don't know what's going on with this fire, you understand? So I unbuckle, I take off my helmet, and I was actually trying to push myself through the window because the door can open, but the window is already broken. But like with my arm dislocated, I had no mobility in the arm to raise up myself. So
so it's only a dislocated arm, right?
Yeah, that's all I got. This shoulder was dislocated.
So nothing was broken?
No, nothing
Just
was broken.
Just a dislocated arm?
Just a dislocated arm.
Amazing.
Yeah, we have to thank God for that.
That is absolutely amazing.
So yeah, I mean, okay, so the guys were really, I had to admit.
You tried to open the door, well, of course, not with...
No, I tried to push myself out of the car because at that time, door couldn't open because it was jammed.
So it was oriented enough to know, well, okay, fire, I need to...
Yeah, of course. Helmet, I mean, a lot of people tell me my helmet fly off. I say, no. I took my helmet off, I tell you.
This is a single pass for one. Still trying to get
Okay, so this is a detailed look right here. The first flip over where he's inverted, he's actually clear off of the ground. He's not even touching the ground. And this part here, we can see the bonnet is off. The windshield has popped out from the twisting of the car as it rolls over. And it comes over again. We see ignition there. That is a fire starting from the exhaust that's right behind the front right wheel. That's right behind the front right wheel. That's where the exhaust comes out. It sprays, as you can see the fire's already started. You can see it through the fender. The fire has reached a point where you can see it through the fender. The bonnet is still flying, going off, and there we have flame propagation at its very best. Down there you can look through the rims of the tires and see the fire. The entire front of the car is in a ball of flames. The injectors are spraying fuel all over the place onto that already ignited fire. And as you can see there, the centripetal forces has pulled his body out of the door frame there. My word, and Don has only suffered a dislocated shoulder. This has definitely got to be one of the most amazing spills in drag racing for the region. I would think even internationally. I mean, where else would you see stuff like this? Now again, he had second thoughts about doing the full race suit and everything. Don, I can assure you, he is no longer taking chances. He's no longer cutting corners. The cars come to a rest here. We see a massive ball of fire. This fire is somewhat 15 feet into the air. It's burning off the extra fuel and oil that has come out from the engine. And we see a car coming up there. They're coming to his rescue. A lot of people here are not too sure exactly what to do. What is the condition of Don? A very lucky fellow.
Paradise Motorsports.
So, for motorsport in the Caribbean, what would you like to see for motorsport in the Caribbean? Start with Grenada. What do you want to see for Grenada? And then, by extension, what you want to see for the region?
Well, for Grenada, I would like, of course, well, now we have Purcell more or less, for a little while to do what develop it. And I want to see guys come out here professional, want to race and do things right, and not only just talk and want to say that the car is the fastest on the road and don't come in on the track. And I mean, it's a sport that somebody must lose, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when you lose, to me, it's better you go, you're coming back. I mean, of course, racing, everybody knows, expensive. So you more or less, you're kind of like limited to some people to where your pocket could reach. But, I mean, a lot of people feel that I just build my car one time, and just go on race. That engine I had in my car was since when I had my first RX-7 and a lot of the other pieces, and I just keep on adding on piece by piece, begging people for money, sponsors and things. I think it's easy to beg people for their money, you know what I mean? So I would like more or less for, I mean, it's a good event. I mean, it's I think a lot of people just turn out. I would like from the private sector, the ministries, the government to get more involved in terms of interacting with the Caribbean. Look, this event canceled because we can't get the cars up and all kind of thing. You know what I mean? You can't get a boat. I mean, there are tons of shipping companies that could, help out. You know what I mean? In if it was somebody from foreign who come in to do an event down here, see everybody want to get involved. You know what I mean?
Right.
I remember we had an event here with one and some foreign person. They had cars coming out from all about. You understand?
Indeed, yeah.
And, just more organized and something for attraction for people, because people like motorsport in the Caribbean. Yes. I think it's as big as Carnival.
Why is it that we can't get private companies to spend more money on racing? Why do you think that is?
Well, for Grenada, they're just not interested.
Yeah, it's not interested.
That is not a thing.
Yeah.
If it was football or cricket, because that is what my old man and other people old men grew up in. They may grow up in no car racing and knowing about car racing.
Yeah.
You might hear my old man say, boy, I used to turn some corner and thing, fellas used to run off the road and thing, but them never really, get involved in. Another thing is too, Grenada have a small market and people don't really, well, it's only now these days, people don't think advertising is mileage here. A man think, your company, he need to advertise. So you go by a man and say, well, hey, I want a sponsor for racing, I will do this for your company. He'll say, why get out of that? Everybody know me in Grenada. Why you telling me? I know the people who come and buy more by me, he will just think you just want to come and take your money.
Right.
You understand? And that is the basic. Of course, we're taking your money. You understand? But it's it's just a different market. You know, people now ain't really interested in
a different way. Instead of putting it in a newspaper or a billboard, they put it on.
Exactly. I mean, now you find with a global, you know, CSME and all that coming in and thing, you find people more on advertise. I mean, for example, for Barbados. I mean, I go to the rally in Barbados every year, and I was shocked. Police involved. Yeah. Government involved, plane car coming in on the airport in plane, cargo plane, place closed down, you can't pass here, you can't pass there, they ain't care if you live in a house there, you can't go in your house. That day of that rally is shut down. Is that a day in your house or you're out of your house? You understand? Everybody cooperating. I mean, guys coming all the way from New Zealand, England, all over to this. I mean, I'm sure that a large sum of money has come in the country. I mean, and we in the Caribbean saying we can't make money, and we have things here that you know
that can make the money.
That can make the money.
Yeah. This is Earth Race, a boat designed and purpose-built to race the longest race on the planet, a race around the globe. Paradise Motorsports went to Barbados to meet the crew of this fantastic project. Let's hear what the captain has to say.
Pete Bethune, and I'm the skipper of the Earth Race.
The skipper of the Earth Race. Now, the Earth Race, that's the name of the boat itself, or is it the name of the race?
It's the name of the boat, and it's also the name of the sort of company and the organisation that's running this. It's a charitable trust that works on the promotion of renewable fuels. So we've built this very cool wave-piercing powerboat to attempt the around-the-world speed record for a powerboat, and we fuel the boat on biodiesel fuel, which is this neat fuel made normally from vegetable oils.
Oh, the wave-piercing design. I mean, it's definitely not traditional. Why go with the wave-piercing design as opposed to a displacement or planing hull that runs above the water?
But the reason is, for you to set a record to go around the globe, you're going to cop at least 2 storms. If you get a bad run, you're going to cop 5 storms. And so we know we're going to get some bad weather along the way, and a wave-piercing boat is faster in rough seas. You know, being able to punch through those waves allows you to go much, much faster. In flat water, not a lot of difference between a wave piercer and a conventional planing hull, but you put it in big seas, mate, and this boat will eat those others for dead. At 25 knots, we've got a range of about 2,000 nautical miles. At 7 knots, you've got a range of about 13,000 nautical miles.
One more time, the range at 7 knots is?
About 13,000 nautical miles. That's over halfway around the globe.
Anthony, what type of engineer are you with regard to this fantastic project?
A diesel mechanic, mostly, but I've also had I have a biodiesel and biofuels consulting company. And part of that is that we convert diesel engines to run on either biodiesel, which requires very little modification unless they're older engines, or let them run on straight vegetable oil. The beauty of biodiesel is compare it to, say, ethanol. For every unit of energy you put into production of biodiesel, you get approximately 3 to 3.5 units of energy out of it. So if you took a barrel of oil, burning it, you know, or just a barrel of diesel and running it through the system in order to provide the heat and the energy that would require for the processing, you would net 3.5 units out of it.
I don't care, man. I work on something I believe in on this, and we make a positive contribution with what we're doing. And if anyone wants to get in help, go to earthrace.net. Check us out, send me an email. We could do with a few more stickers on my boat there and a few corporate gigs and stuff.